Ain't nobody's running, ain't nobody's hiding, nobody's ducking. I mean, Crawford's gonna be right there, ready to trade blows with Canelo Alvarez. Why did you use that word war? Why are you feeling that?
Down the list and ask me about tactical advantages. Most of them are Crawford.
Crawford could see everything coming. He could see everything coming that Canelo threw at him. He was reading it so well. His guard was so tight as well when he was up at the ropes, when he was exiting, looking to move around.
Not the same size, but that was a brilliant performance. So what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him, said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like that.
Stephen A. Smith responded passionately to Canelo Alvarez's defeat against Terence Crawford. He said Crawford had targeted this fight for years to cement his legacy. According to Smith, Crawford proved himself under the brightest lights and became the champion. Taking away Canelo's spotlight, he stressed this was far more than an ordinary victory. It was a defining achievement in boxing history.
Four-division world champion out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's undefeated, 41-0 with 31 KOs, and he begged for this fight. He wanted Canelo bad because to him, it's all about legacy. I'm not speculating. I'm telling you what I know. And how would I know? It's because I interviewed him. Yesterday, we sat down. Here is my conversation with the one and only Terence Crawford challenging Saul Canelo Alvarez, moving up 2 weight divisions.
Max Kellerman also believed Crawford's display was historic and career-defining. He broke down Canelo Alvarez's loss to Terence Crawford with sharp insight, likening the challenge to climbing several weight classes and meeting a dangerous rival who can drag you into a genuine dogfight for the first time in your career. Kellerman noted that fighters with true belief chase hard tests without fearing size, speed, or strength. He underlined how Crawford carried that fearless attitude, reminding fans that for years no boxer publicly called out Bud to him. Crawford earned a place among the sport's elite by accepting that risk.
Giving up or having to jump up 2 more weight classes and fight a guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who was over there. Whoever they brought out that locker room was gonna get it. You understand me? That's just what it was. And I think Bud kind of has that feeling. Now, Bud, you gotta remember, has been around for a long time. Nobody called him out. You understand me? All the time Floyd came at the boxing floor, never said I want Bud Crawford.
No one ever said his name.
Hey, all I know is one thing, Israel Mazrimov, he didn't get it, he barely lost.
Yeah, but I was just saying, but nobody called his name.
Shocker Stevenson's respect for Terence Crawford has always been clear. But after Crawford's decisive triumph over Canelo Alvarez, his praise carried extra meaning. Stevenson explained that Crawford not only fulfilled everything he promised before the match, but he also displayed why he is regarded so highly. Shocker admitted that from the early stages of his own career, he examined Crawford's discipline, mindset, and style. Watching his hero accomplish such a landmark result confirmed to Stevenson that greatness is built through steady preparation and focus. To him, Crawford is not only a champion but a guide who represents the standard of excellence young fighters aim for.
On Cook Canelo. Said he was gonna outbox him. He did exactly what I called years ago. And tonight he proved that he's the greatest boxer that ever lived.
In the interview that didn't work, you said, you felt like going on a run watching that tonight. How much inspiration can you take from someone like Terence?
I take everything from I've been around him since I was a kid. And just watching that greatness.
Stephen A. Smith also reflected on Terence Crawford's resolve before facing Canelo. He noted that while some competitors might have asked a superstar like Canelo to drop to a safer weight, Crawford insisted on meeting him at 168 pounds. For Crawford, the contest was never about comfort. It was about legacy. Smith reminded viewers that Canelo Alvarez remains one of the sport's most dangerous athletes, holding belts in several divisions. Crawford's willingness to take everything Canelo owned at this weight, without hesitation, revealed how badly he wanted to secure greatness on boxing's toughest platform.
41-0, Molly, with 31 knockouts. He's taken on all comers. I asked him, you're moving up in weight. Why would you not try to get Canelo to come down from 168 to 160 to meet you halfway, since his last fight was at Crawford's last fight was at 154. Crawford said, I want what he has. I want to go take it. I don't want to make, I don't want to make concessions and alterations. I'm coming to take what he has. And you look at him, and no one believes that he can't pull it off. He can box, he can punch, he's smart, he's elite, and he wants Canelo. He begged Canelo.
Oladipo drew attention to the huge shift in opinion around Terence Crawford. Before the bout, doubters labeled Crawford too small, too old, and not capable of handling a powerhouse like Canelo Alvarez at a heavier limit. Yet after the fight, many of those same critics quickly saluted him, taking back the doubts they had voiced earlier. Age stressed that Crawford earned every bit of praise because he succeeded in the hardest manner possible. Rising from lighter categories and challenging a dominant figure like Canelo was no easy path. By defeating Canelo clearly, Crawford proved he is measured not by size or age, but by ability and unshakable will.
Crawford did it again a few hours ago against Canelo. And what makes it even special or more special for Crawford is that he did it jumping up, as we know, a couple of weight classes. He did it against one of an all-time or another fellow all-time great. And he did it against someone who was undisputed and still a pound-for-pound top 10 guy. That's what Crawford did, people. So, all those things people were saying in the lead up to this fight, Canelo's going to be too strong, Canelo's too experienced, Crawford's going to be 38, all that. You have to remember all of that when you give Crawford his flowers. Now, don't like, oh, well, Canelo looked old. No. I don't want to hear any of that. I've started to see a few people on Twitter start to kind of sort of find excuses already. No. Remember everything you said, because Crawford deserves all of that. All of that. Crawford was incredible. Honestly, in the pocket, he was at times showing Canelo, no, I'm stronger than you. I'm going to bully you. Oh, you think you're going to get me in the clinch because you're Mr. 168? No, look at the size of me. I'm jacked as well. I'm swole. And he was moving Canelo around. So by doing that, he got his respect. He didn't switch to orthodox once, stayed in the southpaw stance because he realized early, oh, Canelo don't like this. Canelo does not like this southpaw stance. Canelo's tripping over himself. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to switch it. No, I like this work. I'm going to stay here. On the ropes, it's like, okay, come in, because when you come in, I've got that as well, and I can hurt you as well. Spinning off the ropes. His jab was fantastic. They put up the jab numbers. He was out-jabbing Canelo like, it was almost like 10-1, maybe even 20-1. It was fantastic, and when he needed to land those power shots, he was landing those power shots. It was incredible.
The Wade Concept analyst gave an important take by dismissing claims that Canelo's defeat was just evidence of decline. He highlighted that Crawford is actually older than Canelo, so age cannot explain Alvarez's loss. Besides, Canelo entered with clear benefits in weight, strength, and experience at the division. Even with those edges, he was beaten soundly. WDE argued that this success was not about Canelo slipping, but about Crawford lifting his game to a new tier. By rejecting the excuses, he underlined that Crawford's triumph was real, deserved. An unforgettable interview.
More tight, more fundamentally sound. While Canelo, even when he was able to get to range, it wasn't a lot, it wasn't often, he was having a hard time landing clean because everything was super wide and out here and to the body out there. And Crawford would either circle out to that same side, to Canelo's lead hand side, he would circle away, because Canelo would step straight to Crawford and chase him and not necessarily cut him off. And even when he threw that hook, I was looking for the hook from Canelo, right hand as he stepped through, right? Corral with the lead hand, bang the right hand because you're fighting a southpaw. So yeah, your jab may not be as effective in landing and managing distance and all those things, even though for Terence it kind of was. For Canelo, I was expecting a lot more of that right hand down the middle and over the top, and him jabbing his way, feint jab right hand, and then that lead hook that I thought he would be able to corral Crawford, because Crawford did want to move away from Canelo. He did. He wanted to move away from that power hand. Smart to do. Canelo never took that extra step to step outside of Crawford's lead foot. Again, that orthodox southpaw matchup, it's always going to be a battle of that lead foot. He never took that next step to get outside of that lead foot and then step through Crawford, step to his left where Crawford was going and land his right hand. He just felt like he was falling off to his right with his right hand. And once he fell off to his right after he threw the right hand, there was no follow-ups because he was off balance and Crawford was out the gate and circling back to reset the action. This was a masterful display from Terence Crawford. And again, I looked at this fight and I don't want to do the thing where I said, oh, you know, Canelo's washed. He's over the top. He's old. Terence Crawford's older than Canelo. Is he as weathered as far as fights are concerned? No. But you can only do one thing when talking about this fight, and that is give credit to Terence Crawford. If you want to say Canelo looked old, that's fine. That's on you.
Back foot, sort of dictating the pace. And then after about round 6 or 7, Canelo Alvarez knew, 1 second. I need a little freshener. Canelo knew he had to step on the gas. He knew he needed to put the fight on its front foot and take it to Terence Crawford and start to try and catch him and bang him on. And when he headbutted Crawford, I thought that could be the start of it. A little bit of a nut, get that down. Yeah, I don't know if there was a cut, but the referee stopped and had a look. And I thought, now Canelo's going to step on the gas. And he did that. He stepped on the gas, he started getting in close, and he started landing a few more shots than he was in the previous rounds, but it wasn't enough. Terence Crawford was able to catch and counter. He was landing a sneaky uppercut from the southpaw stance. He was dominating behind his jab, and then when Canelo stuck it on him, he was dominating up close in the pocket. He was beating him at his own game. Canelo Alvarez must have been fuming in there. He must have thought to himself, what can I do? He couldn't do anything. He needed to pick up the pace, put the pressure on, and sustain the attacks. And I don't want to take anything away from Terence Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez couldn't do that. He couldn't do it for long enough. Crawford looked like he could have done 20 rounds in there tonight at that pace, the way he was dictating and controlling. And Canelo Alvarez was getting marked up, he was breathing heavy, he was getting tired, he was reaching with shots, and it was getting torn apart. It was an absolute masterclass by Terence Crawford. Canelo tried. Canelo came and he had a go, but to be honest, I don't want to rain on the parade of Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez, for me, is well past his best now. He's seen better days. He hasn't got the pace, he hasn't got the fitness to sustain the attack. Afterwards in the interview, he said, I felt great, it's great, I feel good. And don't forget, Crawford's a couple of years older. So I think it's the miles on the clock. Canelo Alvarez had like 67 fights. I know Crawford's had a fair few fights, but he's about 20 fights behind him. So the miles on the clock have caught up with Canelo Alvarez. He's feeling the pace,